Hey guys, it's your girl Jaylah with another episode of Tech It Up with Café Cultura. And today I am bringing you another one of our amazing founders. And her name is Joyce Medeiros. How are you, Joyce?
Doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here with us today. And I want to start off. Tell us a little bit the basics about yourself and the name of your company.
Sure. So I'm Joyce. Great chatting with you today. Uh, and I am building Investrio. Investrio is an AI powered accounting software for solopreneurs. And with that, we also have a massive community of women entrepreneurs that we support through content, education, and connections.
That's amazing. Um, Talk to me about your background. Where are you from? How did you kind of get to this point?
Yeah, so I'm a first generation immigrant from Brazil. I came to America when I was 10. I went to university at Bucknell University. I was able to get a degree in economics, and that landed me the opportunity to go into Wall Street. So I started my career at Goldman Sachs on the New York side and eventually made my way into the trading floor where I used to support the front end
Wow.
trading. So very exciting stuff. So I love numbers. I love markets. Eventually left that career to a startup. That startup went on to get acquired, grow, and it was an extremely impressive experience to have in my early 20 or mid to late 20s. And post acquisition, I was like, you know what? I want to do this again, but I want to make it mission driven. I want to work with people I love, and I want to make an impact.
That is amazing. Taking that skill from being on the floor, because I'm sure there are not a lot of women on the trading floor.
No, there
And
aren't.
and especially in the younger, you know, non-traditional work, you expect the average white frat boy, I guess you could say. But to see a first generation immigrant in there is extremely impressive and something to be very proud of. Um, how did that passion for numbers and the sell of your first startup with the passion that you have become the idea that you had for Investro?
Yeah. So the passion for numbers, I wasn't really like passionate to be honest about numbers, but I am passionate about economics. I'm passionate about the stories that come from markets. And that probably stems from my background being an immigrant, understanding like what makes money move, why do people perceive it certain ways, how do we value it. So I've always been very curious about that since I was a kid. I remember watching the NASDAQ numbers go through and asking my mom, like, what does that mean? Like, I want to know what this stuff means. And nobody in my family knew. Nobody had
Yeah.
like ever participated in the financial markets in the way. Um, and so I had that deep curiosity going into college. I just didn't know what that was called, and it was truly finance, economics, and financial markets. So essentially, networked my way, leveraged mentorships to get there, learned so much, and it was really a humbling process to get to that point. Just the amount of learning that I had to do, but essentially that passion for like supporting people had always been there. I had always participated in volunteering or in, supportive groups in college, in other parts of my life. And when I had the free time, I started talking about my personal financial journey online. And that's actually the basis of Investrio. I told the world how I had student loan debt and how I overcame that to build wealth in my like later life.
That's amazing. Like combining it, and you were talking about this off air, that it's such tech is such a beautiful world because you could bring in so many different components. It's not like what people assume. I feel like people assume you think tech, they think computers and they think, apps and stuff like that. But to know that we can now connect that world of tech with our passions, our loves, like the things that we really love to explore and do, like me in media, you in the financial space. There's people in medical, there's people in education. I think it's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And the opportunities are so ripe, right? If you see there is a need or a problem, it's so much easier today to solve with tech. And it's so much easier to build given AI, given some of the innovation that's come in the space. So it's a super exciting time to be building a startup.
Yeah, so let's go deeper about the conversation with Investrio. Um, Give us what is it all about?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, I started off helping people with their personal finances, ended up helping clear out nearly $1 million of credit card debt, all because of financial literacy,
Wow.
budgeting, using tools. So we ended up building an app. So we are a Latina founded fintech. I do have a co-founder. Her name is Laura. She is Colombian, and she's my better half, I like to say. And so we built this app, and it was super cool to help people get out of credit card debt. What happened was we realized that that was a really hard space to innovate. That was a really hard space to help people in a meaningful way in the masses. It was always going to be very handheld. It was always going to be very difficult. So we took a further look in the data and who was looking for that help and who was coming to us so urgently. And we realized, wait, these are all entrepreneurs. These are all women entrepreneurs. Oh, and by the way, they all work by themselves. There must be a world in like which we can support them in a better way. And so we really paused at that time. This was like fall of last year, right after building an entire app, about to launch it, realizing we had made a massive mistake and course correcting by talking to our users and understanding them further. Upon that discovery, we realized this is an accounting problem. This isn't just a debt problem, right? So these are photographers, fitness trainers, artists, content creators. They're so good at making money. They're making on average 75 to $100,000, and they get into credit card debt because they are commingling their finances, they are not taking the right deductions, or they simply put it off until the end of the year to go work with an accountant, right? And so that's when the real work of Investrio got started. We started talking to hundreds of women online and beyond, meeting them in person. We host these coffee meetups in New York City to really understand them. And we started to see the pattern. It was an accounting issue, and it was something that we could solve because there were patterns. We could build algorithms around it. And that's where Investor came in. And by also building this tool and knowing so many women, we simultaneously built a community of women entrepreneurs who love to hang out with each other. We host these coffee meetups in Miami and in New York. And I've seen so many like amazing things come out of this community. Not only are they so helpful and so vocal about how we're building the product and giving us amazing feedback in real time, but they are collaborating with one another, right? The content creator in the yoga studio get together, or
Yeah.
somebody with the coffee shop and somebody who hosts events get together, and florists, you name it. So it's become a beautiful like combination of tech and community.
I absolutely think that's super interesting because I know that personally I have a problem, with finances and stuff. I've always been scared of money or I've hated money. I've had like bad experiences with it. So it's affected me and I've seen how it affects my work, my home life, my, just life in general, because of that relationship that I had with money. So I think that this is such a great way to feel like you have more control, but you're also almost being guided along like the journey of it, right? So that helps tremendously. Where do you see Investro within the next couple, let's say the next 3 years?
Yeah. So today we're hoping to support more of the solopreneurs. We just launched on the App Store. We are doubling our usage week over week, which is super exciting. So we're seeing our community really come through, download it, use it, give us the feedback. And so we continue to work on improving the software, improving our algorithms, and so much more. But where we see ourselves is really disrupting this accounting world, right? In a way that accounting has been done the same way for a reason. It's very standard. But the tools that have been there are so expensive and so old school. They are ready for innovation, especially now where so many younger millennials are coming in, and younger generation of entrepreneurs are coming in. They're desiring tools that match their uniqueness, are as automated, or leverage AI in a way that previous tools just don't have that like innovation built within them. So we're really hoping to continue to innovate, to go beyond the solopreneur, to support small businesses, because today a solopreneur is really truly a business of one, but get to a point where we're supporting, businesses of 10, 20 people, your local coffee shops, your local laundromats, and beyond, and get to a point where we are, not only leveraging the tech, but continuing to leverage this community to continue to support, educate, and continue to grow this ecosystem of entrepreneurs.
Now you were talking about that community, the buildup of the community. Do you see it being mostly women, or are there men that come to it as well? Or like, where's the demographic lie in that community as of right now? Because obviously the plan is growth. But
Exactly.
as of right now, where is it?
As of right now, we get a lot of attention from women just because we are women, my co-founder and I.
Right.
We're a team of 3 people, so we're very lean. So it's my co-founder and I, and we have a third person, an engineer, full stack engineer who's brilliant, and a man. And so we do have male users on the app, but we've been content first. We've been building in public. We've been telling our story since day one, from the struggles of building without money because we bootstrapped, to literally failing that first product and what it was like, and then course correcting. So we've been sharing the story for the like of 2 years online and building this community organically. And so other women have seen us as like, wow, they are like us. They have been building, they've been hustling, they're posting, they're growing, they're making community events. And now we just invite them into our space, right, for the coffee meetups. But it is primarily women. It is primarily, women of the age 25 to 40 who are looking to build a business. They are in major cities. And I'll tell you, entrepreneurship is thriving. Places like South Florida is so important for us, like places like South Florida, New York, and a few other areas like Austin and LA are thriving. People have so many talents, and they're just like looking for that community, looking for that support, and also friendship, because building a business of one is hella lonely, right?
Super, super lonely. And I definitely been in that position. We're trying to figure it out, and it's just you, and you're like, I wish I had somebody to bounce ideas off of,
Yeah.
or that we could build. Um, what is the best way to contact you if people want to support or have more questions about, the app, or if they want to throw money your way, like I like to say? What is the best way to get in contact?
Yeah, I would love to connect. So the best way is my email, joyce@investrio.io. Investrio spells as investrio.io. Or even on our website, we have a form, so feel free to connect with us there as well.
Is there any recommendations as a now serial founder, that you have for people that want to start, that have an idea, that want to get into tech, but have that imposter syndrome? What advice do you have for these type of people?
Yeah, get started. This business started off as me yapping on the internet, on Instagram, sharing my story, sharing my truth, eventually finding customers and taking that on to like further understand the customers, further support them. Our first product was an Excel spreadsheet. So it has really been a long, long road. And enjoy that messy beginning, enjoy that messy middle. You're always refining, you're always doing experiments. Nothing is going to be perfect. The right timing probably won't come around, so you just have to get started. You have an idea, just do something about it. Even if it's not perfect or beautiful, you always get a chance to refine it over time.
I know that you mentioned that you guys have these meetups and you work within the community. When is the next, so people could look out? How can they look out or be a part of these meetups
Yeah.
in either South Florida or in New York, or maybe want to even help bring one to their city?
Absolutely. We'd love that. I'd love to host more across the United States. I physically can't be everywhere, but you can join us through our Luma calendar. So Luma spells LU.MA / Investrio. All of our events are there, including our coffee meetup that's coming up in New York on July 25th. We have yoga events coming up on the July 26th. And we have tons of webinars which you can join, whether they are about getting grants, pitching your startup, finding funding, getting started on bookkeeping, understanding taxes as a business owner. Really, those resources live on our calendar. And once you're part of our events, you also get to participate in our WhatsApp community, which is another thriving channel for entrepreneurs.
That's amazing, all those different ways to connect and actually build that community. So it gives everybody all types of access, and that is amazing. So I want everybody to make sure that they go download right now, right now, right now, right now. Go look at your phone, download Investrio, and enjoy. What are we calling it? Financial freedom?
Yeah, I mean, it's access to build a business, right? This is the building blocks. You do need accounting, don't ignore it. And the tool today supports the personal and the business, so you can plug in both accounts and decommingle those things and grow your business through it.
Thank you so much for being with us, Joyce. I really, really, really appreciate your time and your passion for what you do, because this is so important. We all know money makes the world go round. So it's important to get this knowledge. I feel like a lot of, first generation immigrants don't really get to experience this or learn it, or we learn it the hard way because we're thrown in the lion's den and we just got to figure it out. So having a community now and having something like Investrio is quite helpful and gives me a lot of hope that my daughter will have better opportunities than I did.
100%. We'll be here for you and for her.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
That was another episode of Tech It Up with Cafe Cultura. Thank you to our guest, Joyce, and Investrio, of course. And I will catch you next time with one of our next super duper founders. Bye.